asleep because this stuff is too easy for you or too difficult for you? Okay, raise your hand if you're awake. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, I don't know if this whole thing has been too difficult or too easy for you, but I'm just going to go back to blockchain, demystifying blockchain ICO token economy 101, back to basics. Okay, so surprisingly, if you think you live in Silicon Valley, you think the whole world is using cryptocurrency, you're wrong. In the United States, it's actually not massively adopted. And surprisingly, guess what? The cryptocurrency is being massively adopted by third world countries. Because why? Blockchain and cryptocurrency is decentralized and makes P2P, meaning peer-to-peer transaction, much easier and faster. You don't have to go through Western Union, pay a hefty fee, and it's pretty much instant. Takes about 20 minutes to 7 hours, depends, right? And it's decentralized, so it emancipates countries and individuals from being centrally controlled. Saves a country or region from bankruptcy, like the country Venezuela has come up with its own cryptocurrency, hoping to save the country from going bankrupt, which has sort of already gone bankrupt, but it's changing because cryptocurrency and blockchain is changing that. So blockchain is disrupting the world and disrupting everybody's life in many different ways, and in positive ways. And it eradicates disparity and brings global equality. So it brings countries and individuals more equal to an equal level. And what is token economy? Okay. First of all, what is blockchain? What's the relationship between blockchain, token, and ICO? Blockchain is a technology, like internet is a technology. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And you can have blockchain. You don't have to have token. But if you want to have a token, if you want to build a token, you have to build on blockchain. And you don't have to have ICO at all. Even if you have token or blockchain, you don't need to go ICO. Especially nowadays with all the regulations, most companies don't even want to go ICO, such as Telegram or Hashrap. They don't even want to go ICO. They want to only go stay at private sale because ICO regulation is too complicated and too tedious nowadays. It's not like 2015 or 2016 was much easier, now it's much harder. So token economy is like, let's look at it from a child's point of view. So a child has no token and no access to desired items and activities. So the child exhibits the desire. The child is provided with a token and engaged in the desired behavior. So the child exchanges tokens to access the desired item activities. Actually, this whole thing is more like we're going back to Stone Age, probably. You know, you exchange a service for an item. Say you're a fisherman and you're a hunter, you probably exchange your fish with a meat. That's how it works. So how does blockchain works? Someone registered a transaction, and this transaction is represented as a block in the shared ledger. The block then is broadcasted to all protocols, and participants of this ecosystem approve the transaction is valid, providing consensus. So it's approved by the mass, and the block is added to the chain. So finally, we have a single picture of the chain and actual state of blockchain participants. And so I represent Ultrafund Capital, and we only look at blockchain projects, only invest in blockchain projects. Why is that? I'm going to explain to you later, but just looking at the chart, from July 2016 to July 2017, within 1 year, startup companies, many companies used to go to conventional angel and VC funding, But you know how hard it is to get funded if you go to conventional VC funding, only like 2% get funded. And so many startups start turning to ICO. And by July 2017, it doubles the startup companies that go to ICO fundraising surpasses conventional venture capitalists and angels twice, double. So blockchain investment 2016 versus 2017, just investing in blockchain project itself. 2016, only $103 million worth of USD were pumped into blockchain projects. By 2017, 3.7 billion USD were pumped to support blockchain projects. Because blockchain is the future, it's here to stay, like internet is here to stay. Even if, say, there was an internet.com bubble, but the technology stays, same as blockchain, the technology is going to stay. It's a disruptive technology. So the growth rate has been 3,000%. So early investors have made 50,000 return on ICOs. So for instance, investors have seen a gain of 75,000% in Kryptonite, 59,000% in Flux Coin, 60,000% in Max Coin, and 800,000% in Dubai Coin. That was of 2017, but let's be fair, it's 2018. Things have slowed down. It's pretty bearish right now because of all the regulations from all the countries. And even though the regulations from all the countries, like US, Russia, and China, the big three, started to regulate on cryptocurrency, it has slowed down the cryptocurrency market, but that doesn't mean it's going to make it obsolete. Actually, even it's been a wild, wild west. It was a bad thing because there were a lot of scammers. More than 50% ICO were scams. And of the 50% that were not scams, only 50% successfully raised funds. And of the ones that raised funds, 90% failed. So without regulation, you think it's a good thing? No, it's not. It's actually a very bad thing for investors. And especially for individuals like you, because you cannot discern what is good, what is bad, what is scam, what is not scam. So with regulation coming in, it slows down the market. It's making the market bearish, but it's just a transition that we must go through. It's like a pregnant woman. Before you conceive, before your child, the baby comes out, before you bear your child, you have to go through a lot of labor pain. We're going through labor pain right now. Do you agree or not? It's painful right now, but it's good because you're going to see the child sooner or later. When the regulation come in, it's going to eliminate scams. It's going to, people are going to, the real project with intrinsic value are going to come up. And right now there are too many projects. It actually dilutes the investment money. So it's not good. Therefore, each coin, even though it's a great project, is not very valuable because money are spread out too thin. But when you have regulations come in, only 10% succeed. All the money goes into that 10% instead of that 100%, 90% are BS. So it's a good thing. And we have personally, Ultrafund Capital have personally invested in Eric Hashrap. And the next speaker is going to be Shin. We have invested in them. We only invest in project with intrinsic value. So with regulation coming in, only project with intrinsic value is going to thrive. And what's the difference between token economy and conventional equity? Conventional equity is based on company organization. Token is based on blockchain. And what does that mean? Okay, so in layman's term, token economy has more liquidity. Conventional equity, you have to wait until the company gets acquired or go IPO, which may take 3 to 10 years before, which may never happen. But with token economy, if it's not a scam, okay, it's pretty much guaranteed to go on an exchange. Once it goes on exchange, usually from the day of private sale to exchange, usually it's 3 to 8 months. As soon as it goes on exchange, you can cash out. So the turnover rate is much, much quicker You don't have to wait 3 or 10 years. And privacy, nobody knows who owns what. And you fully own your token. And why blockchain and crypto fund? So nowadays, we live in US, you try to invest in ICO, we're banned. If you live in China, you're banned. If you live in Russia, you're banned from investing in ICO. Also, most projects now, before they don't even need to go ICO. They just stay at private cell state. And only institutions have access to private cells. And so you don't need to do individual KYC, know your client or AML, anti-money laundering with each project. You just do one with our fund. So, and VCs can get into private cells versus individuals cannot really get into private cells. And private cells have even greater discount than ICO. And we basically, screen out scammers. And just quickly, some of the projects that make very good money, blockchain projects. Number one is exchange, but that's changing. Too many exchanges nowadays. Data service, blockchain, hybrid intelligence, artificial intelligence, IoT business, Masterno. We pretty much stay in the top 5 categories. And these ones was not doing well if it doesn't offer an infrastructure, disruptive technology. But if they do, they still fall in one of those categories. So what do investors look at when they look at blockchain projects? Look on the right side, fundamentals, the product, the team, the prototype, the traction, the social media presence, the compliance. Social media presence and compliance from a traditional equity investor, they don't really look at it, but for blockchain investors, it's very important because blockchain projects are decentralized. So if you don't have a social media presence, if nobody wants to invest in you, basically you have no value. It's people-driven, decided by people instead of centralized, divided by board of directors. And quantitative analysis, the total supply, the market cap, total supply times price. That's what total market cap means. What is the price of the token ICO, and the soft and hard cap of the ICO, and the log scale, that means the percent of change in movement. And then the buy-sell volume on exchanges. That's later after you go on exchange. So that's our fund. Ultrafund Capital, and that's how to contact us. Thank you. Question?
Stock exchange, it's a heavily regulated.
Yeah.
But the ICO exchange, who's regulating them?
Right now, okay, it's very complicated. Commodity futures exchange of the United States have determined that Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're commodities, they're not security tokens. Okay? But that's only with Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're the major tokens. And they cannot really classify alternative coins. But with all ICOs, SEC of America just determined all ICOs are considered a security token, even if you're a utility token. Okay, even if you're a utility token. Why companies don't want to go ICO nowadays? Even though you're a utility token. As soon as you go ICO means you're raising funds publicly. You're considered security token, so you had to comply with SEC.
The question is that the Joe average company issues a coin, and how much value does that coin really represent in the real value sense? Because after all, I could not take a coin to go to, for example, a bakery to buy a loaf of bread with that yet, right? So
some places you can.
Yeah, but not not every store at the corner of the street, right?
No.
So how can we do the valuation for the coin in any kind of Joe average company issues and claims?
It's pretty much determined by the mass public right now. For now, that's why social media presence is important.
So in case there's any dispute, who can we sue?
You can sue the company if you get enough people. It's a very. We're going to have Roger Race, our advisor, come up speak about the legal side of it. It's very complicated. I cannot speak for every country, every company.
Understand.
Because every country has its own regulation. So there's no conclusive answer to your question, but I can just tell you one thing. America has power, okay? Even one state, Texas state, asked BitConnect to cease and desist. BitConnect was trading at $475, even though it has no intrinsic value. BitConnect has no technology, nothing. It's just trading Bitcoin. It was worth $475, and then Texas says stop. It collapsed basically the next day. So it's a. I can spend all night answering your question. Even SEC person stand on stage right now, even among themselves, they're still fighting about it. So I cannot answer how you determine the value.
I understand, but I mean, so far your explanation has already taught me a lot. This is a 101, right?
Yeah, 101.
I mean, that really helped. There's a lot of confusion so far. Is this coin really worth my 25 cents coin or $1,000 gold coin?
Right, just invest with us, and then you can sleep. You don't have to worry about it. We look after you.
Well, thank you. That's very comforting. Thank you.
I have another question related to regulations on the ICOs. So you said that if you do an ICO and you raise money, that's considered a security token. What is the regulation on if I introduce a cryptocurrency or a token, but I don't go through an ICO? What is the regulation on that? Like, there was never an ICO for Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
So how is that regulated?
Then once you go on exchange, you just comply with the regulation on the exchange.
So that would be completely considered a commodity. There's no SEC regulation.
Could you save your question for our next speaker, Roger Race? He's our legal advisor. I'm not a legal person. I don't want to say anything wrong and get myself in trouble. Yeah.
Stay at 101 level.
Yeah. Especially, I want to steer away with any legal issues.
Yeah.
Even SEC among themselves has not finalized the regulations, the rules, the laws. So I cannot speak on anybody's behalf.
What is the current status of Bitcoin?
It's a commodity.
Okay.
Determined by the U.S.
Okay.
Okay. And there's no universal determination. There's no unified determination by every country. But I'm talking about the U.S. It's a commodity, so you're safe.
I think that
Yes, let's turn on.
Michael earlier brought up a key point, and he said, "Is this getting worth my 25 cents?" You know, I see the social media, I see Hollywood, I see, that's going to give exposure to people knowing the name and the title blockchain and Bitcoin. But to sell it to the average person, for them to understand it, it's got to be put in simple terms, like Michael says. What's the actual value of this compared to my money? And I don't see, I really have not seen that happen. I still see a lot of confusion. The average person, if you talk about Bitcoin or blockchain, they have no idea. Even after you explain to them, they're still lost. So I think that's a key hurdle.
Right, so let's go back to Stone Age. If you can, If you can trade a Bitcoin to something or Ethereum to something that has value. And in terms of the new tokens coming up, their intrinsic value is equivalent to the equity of the traditional equity of the company. What is the value of the company?